My time. It's my time.
Coming at you live from Boulder's backyard, it's Buffs News Radio Show with your host, Russ. And near is your host, Russ.
What's up, Buff Nation? And welcome in to Buffs News Weekly live Monday call-in radio show. My name is Russ. I'm your host. And guys, it is our very first official Victory Monday. That's right. The Buffs are officially 1-1 on the season after taking down the Delaware Blue Hens. So if you're here in the chat, welcome in. Drop a line, give your take, because the Buffs have become victorious. And no matter what you think about the victory on Saturday, a win is a win, and it's still a win in the win column. So the Buffs are a little bit back on track already. So we get to celebrate on this Monday. And you guys are going to get to voice your opinions on what you think about the Buffs' victory on Saturday. What most surprised you? What is your take going on from Saturday? And where do you see the Buffs going from here? So appreciate you for dropping by on your Monday. You guys have been amazing. All the support over the weekend. I saw a number of you at the game. You guys said hello. And I'd like to give a huge shout out, by the way, to a Mr. Al McPherson, Alex McPherson's dad, who came up to me at the football game, had a great conversation with him, just getting to talk about his experience with CU football and his son's experience, and how much they're just loving it there. And then to get to see Alex with the blocked punt during the game was just an added bonus to all of that. Getting to see that happen in the middle of the game and to know just, what that means to the family and all that was a really, really awesome thing to get to experience. Had a great conversation with him. Learned a lot about him, his family, about Alex. They have a long connection to the state of Colorado. And so Colorado has just been absolute home for them. And so absolutely happy to see him perform on Saturday the way that he did. And big shout out to Mr. Al McPherson for the nice conversation before the game. But hey, if you saw me at the game, appreciate talking to you. The number of people that I did hung out at the DNVR tailgate as well. So it was pretty cool getting to do that, and just overall fun experience at the CU game as always. And luckily the Buffs came in, showed out, did what they had to do, came away victorious, and that's what we've got on this Victory Monday. A lot of good teams this weekend struggled against inferior competitions. Maddie King, you are not wrong. It's very interesting to see the number of teams out there that struggled. And I have to wonder, this is my take right now on what's going on. And see if you guys are with me on this. College football as a whole has transformed. We know it. The transfer portal is king. Transfers are happening left and right. It's a thing that is here to stay. And what we are seeing is with the massive turnover of rosters, it's not just Colorado every year, guys. It's every team now. Every team is going to be a normal part of the transfer portal and players changing locations. It's just a part of the game now. The problem that we're seeing started last year, but even more this year. And tell me if I'm wrong. It really, truly seems like teams are struggling to get on track, to truly get their identity figured out, to truly get the team clicking on all chemistry. And what we are essentially seeing is these first couple weeks of college football kind of mirroring the first couple of weeks of the NFL in the preseason. So it begs two questions. One, we need some off-season ability for teams to scrimmage and play one another, whether it's open scrimmage practices, whether it's, spring game competition, because by the way, most other college sports in the NCAA play each other during the spring season. Again, this coming from a college athlete who played college soccer, but we had a spring season where we played 5 to 6 games against outside opponents. They weren't always college teams, by the way. Sometimes they were amateur teams, sometimes they were minor league teams. Heck, I even went to a couple games where professional teams scrimmaged against college teams in the spring. It was a thing. It was allowed. I don't know why college football is not open to the idea of allowing those sorts of things happening. It makes no sense to me. But football, college football now with the transfer portal, with the roster turnover that we're seeing, needs some sort of way to be able to test the roster, to be able to have roster competition, to be able to have position battles. Practice is only so much. And if we're being honest, there's not enough contact in practice to really test out what you have. And what we saw Saturday from Colorado was kind of a full circle moment when it came to the ability to being able to test a roster out. And that is Colorado using all 3 of their quarterbacks. And not in a, 2-quarterback system that you see teams run. No, I mean a legitimate, hey, you're getting this many series, you're getting this many series, you're getting this many series, best man wins. Well, Colorado just did that. They won their game still, covered the spread, and was able to try out each of the guys to see exactly what they had and who's able to most optimally run this offense. And unfortunately, the answer was third string quarterback Ryan Staub, who had an absolute fantastic day. It showed that he just had a greater grasp on the offense and what is being asked of him, making an audible on the field that led to the Sincere Brown touchdown, which even well-off media highlighted directly as a point of contention that, hey, that was an audible choice by Ryan Staub on the field to tell Sincere Brown to take a go route and to hit him on that long play. And then even later in the game when he hit Sincere Brown a second time, exact same thing. He audibled to that play and made the pass. So right now, if you're looking at everything involved, if you're looking at the performance from the weekend, Ryan Staub is right now positioned as probably our best option. Now, the question is, will he be the starting quarterback for Friday, or do we go back to Caden Salter? Anybody else who online wants to make a comment about Julian Lewis? I've seen a number of them. People were commenting to me during the game, after the game, that, oh, Julian Lewis will be entering the portal. He won't be on this team much longer. Does not know how this works. Okay, does not know how this works. Arch Manning literally did the exact same thing last year with Texas, the last couple years with Texas, where he came on in relief, didn't always look the best, looked good sometimes, didn't always look best all the time, and yet stuck around. He's now the starting quarterback there, even having a first bad week, having a better second week, although the competition was a little bit bad. So, guys, there's just so many things to show when it says that, okay? It really, really does look like that, okay? So, seeing that and others are doing well despite it, I prefer this type of start to football season, the old school 50-point blowouts. I mean, games are close all over the board. I mean, the lesser opponents are sticking it in there, buddy. So we are getting better football games overall rather than the 50-point blowouts the SEC teams were performing against some of the lesser opponents. Delaware was a figure it out game, and now we've got more questions. I would agree with that. I thought we would go into this weekend and know a lot more about this team. I feel like we have a lot more questions than we do answers at this point. So it looks like that figure it out game has now been moved to Houston because we're actually going to be playing a top level opponent again to see what happens. Please do not go back to Salter, says Tez. Okay, built for the Buffs. Just keep progressing. What's good? Appreciate you, TMFB. Tez, I mean, it's going to be hard. How do you go back? And maybe that's the question for all of you guys in the chat. How do you go back to Caden Salter after Ryan Staub's performance, after seeing the reaction that the team had to his success? What are you saying to yourself if you go back? And I mean, we went back to Caden Salter at the end of that game, and it just looked completely different, guys. The energy got sucked out of the offense once he entered back in against Delaware. So I don't know what you do there, guys. I truly don't. CB, it seems it is being used at a preseason. I like Staub. However, the OC refusal to adjust Salter's game is baffling. Why bring him here if we're just going to use this outdated offense? My only other thing could be CB. If we are treating this as a preseason, perhaps we really are running a vanilla offense for a reason that we are just not trying to open up the playbook much for Caden Salter. Are we doing him any favors in that process? No. But maybe he knows it. Maybe the coaching staff knows it. Maybe this was the plan all along. And we really aren't going to see a true, full, rolled out offense until next week or heck, even BYU. I don't know. I don't want to give the benefit of the doubt. I've been giving the benefit of the doubt. You know that I have been giving the benefit of the doubt to this offense for way too long. And that's 2 weeks in a row that I just felt like we are not doing to the capability that we need to. What should happen, and what I saw on Saturday at the game, watching the All-22 afterwards, yes, did we run all the stupid screen routes again? Yes, did we run short, intermediate routes to start that game? Yes, it put Caden Salter in a rhythm. He was hitting the plays that he needed to, and it was working against Delaware those first 2 drives, and it led to 10 points. After that, however, it seemed like Delaware started adjusting to what our offense was doing, and we did not do anything to counteract that. What I've been screaming for is, hey, once you suck them in on all those screen plays and swing plays and out routes and all of the stuff and hitches that we do on a constant basis, when are we going to roll out the deep play off of that? When are we going to roll out the fakes? When are we going to roll out, things that are going to draw the defense in, which is what you want, and then unleash with an overtop action? And guess what? We technically did that, but it took a Ryan Staub audible for that to hit. There is a reason that Sincere Brown was so wide open and beat his man so easily off the line of scrimmage, and it was because Delaware was starting to cheat in when it came to their play calling, and Colorado struck. So I don't understand why everyone's blaming Salter. Yeah, Staub looks great. It's the same offense for 2.5 years. No adjustment for Caden. It was unfair for him coming back late in that game. And that's the key to it, is the rhythm that was no longer there, what that looked like at that point. It's very interesting. Joe, simple solution is bigger focus on high school recruiting. Get more guys here in 17, 18 who learn and ready to roll out when they're 19, 20. But Joe, that's old football. The kids don't hang around enough to do that. If they have a 20 to 30 player high school recruiting class, the chances of them sticking around for 2 to 3 years so that they play when they're 19 to 20 is slim to none. It's slim to none. I mean, that football is not that anymore. You're seeing it across the board, guys. You really are. You are seeing it across the board. It's just hard to say that you're wanting to go back to the old way of college football when that's just not what's happening. It's just not what's happening, guys. Isn't it a little too ironic? Shedeur, third string quarterback, the Browns, stop third string quarterback Buffs. What's Prime to do? It's very interesting. It's a question I don't want to have to answer. It's a question that the coaching staff's going to have to answer. If Stav has a bad game, do we go back to Salt? I mean, I think you go with whoever's the hot hand at any time. Keep letting Staub cook if Pat allows it. Juju second string than Salter, but I like Salter's game if he ran more for him. One, you're right. Definitely more questions than answers. Who are the starters on the interior D-line? A lot of rotations there, and a lot of guys who aren't. Russ, I'm not tripping. CU is becoming a team. It may take a little time, though. Go, Pat, go. Did you see what Asante Samuel said? He destroyed Pat offense. Yep, it was bad. Praying it's vanilla until BYU. We should be able to beat Houston regardless. I mean, again, I don't want to keep making excuses, so I'm not going to. I'm not going to say that was the fact. Could it be the case? Sure. We don't know. We don't get that information. But something's got to change at some point. Something's got to change at some point. We were up 10-0. Delaware scored 10-7. At that point, we were cooked. No, the playbook definitely looks pedestrian under Salter. This guy has wide open receivers, misses the passes. It isn't the play calls. That's fact to this point are that Salter isn't good enough, or you could say good fit for this team. Our best position group is our wide receivers, and we are trying to go with a 57% passing career passer. Gennaro Ryan, I have a dream. Staub plays to win, while Salter plays not to lose. The fact that Delaware can key in on our plays shows how predictable Shermer is. Well, and what I was waiting for was the other side of it. Yeah, be predictable and then go off script and be able to get hit big plays. And we did that technically. So my question is, does Salter not know the playbook enough to know when to audible out? Do they not trust him enough to make those calls? Is that not what they want from Salter? I mean, I have so many questions. Like I said, that game created more questions than answers for us. Let's be honest. It absolutely did. CB is Salter's cousins. Salter couldn't throw to wide open wide receiver, simple and plain. Interesting how Staub made those plays look amazing. It is the quarterback play, plain and simple. What's good? Appreciate Northside coming in today, as always. Ryan, I have a dream Staub is Shador Sanders 2.0. He even threw the Shador up. CB, I'm not related to that man. Salter isn't reading the defense. He seems to make up his mind on pass throw before they play. DB's got to be better at tackling, gave up too many yards. And we can talk about that little bucket because the defensive side, yes, we missed way too many tackles on Saturday. That is a bad sign. But one thing that has been true the last 2 years of this Livingston defense, last year and this year so far, guys, that I'd like to point out that not a lot of people are really thinking about. This team, this defense, they've been known to give up a lot of yards, but they don't give up a lot of points. That's a fact. Last year, the average points that we were allowed, I believe we were at 24. I can look it up, but we're about 24 points per game. And this year, we're less than that already. So when the defense needed to, it brought plays. The fourth downs on Saturday, the third downs throughout the game, the turnovers that came at the proper moment, whether it was Ben Finiseth chasing down the guy who was about to score on a very, very long play, but made the play that needed to be made. I mean, when your defense is opportune and does what it needs to just enough to get you in a position to win each and every week, so far it's done that. We beat Delaware. It put us in a possession, even giving up 400 plus yards to Georgia Tech. Gave us a chance that we had a chance when the game was tied. We had the ball with 4 minutes left and the offense couldn't find points to win that game, and Georgia Tech did then on the following drive. I mean, it's crazy. I don't love it. It's not pretty, but somehow, some way, it seems to be working. Just saying. Because all we saw the same game. Salter has wide open guys. We would have won the Georgia Tech game. I'm assuming, Tez, you're saying we would have won the Georgia Tech game had Staub played. Is your comment here. It's always going to be tough when the starter is more of a runner and the backup is a better passer. Fans will always call for the backup whenever the starter is struggling. I don't blame Salter. I blame recruiting staff for evaluating personnel that fit our scheme. Northside, who do you mean in particular when you say that? Let me know. Salter did miss open guys, but he may need time to get in a rhythm. I'm just not ready to say Staub is the guy. If that's the case, we have to accept this is a vanilla offense. This is it. Russ, can you please be definitive? Who do you want at quarterback? Jesus. I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm almost prepared to just say the season is a rebuild, and I would love to see what Julian Lewis can do if just given the keys and just say, hey, what happens, happens, similar to the NFL, and use it as an audition for the following seasons when we can recruit and bring in some more guys. Because I think personnel-wise, we're not there yet to truly, truly compete. Again, I never said this was a 12-0, 11, 10-win team. I did think that they're an 8 or 9-win team because I did think that some of the Big 12 teams are lesser than what people give them credit for. And I believe that our non-conference schedule allowed for 3 to 4 wins right there. So that's the hard part. I could easily say I would love to see just Julian Lewis given the keys to this. If this is what Caden Salter is, if he's not going to be this amazing quarterback with dual threat capability that's going to be able to lead this offense, and Staub, still a good quarterback. I mean, if we want to win, if our true calling and understanding is, hey, win as many games as we can, Ryan Staub. If I'm being honest right now, because we don't have time. We don't have a preseason. Every game counts. I think Staub gives us the best chance to win right this moment. I think Julian Lewis gives us the best chance to win over the next 3 to 4 years because of what he could do if he starts to unleash it and starts to look good. What does that do for recruiting? What does that do for the future years? And that gives you a head start on him learning the offense and getting the thing catered to him. There's that. I mean, Salter doesn't have much upside as of this moment. From what we've seen, from what he brings, there's just not that much upside. I think the first two drives of the game where he produced 10 points and it wasn't flashy, it wasn't great, it wasn't perfect. I think that's his ceiling. That's his ceiling, guys. And so if you're fine with that, if he can get consistent and, methodical and not really, explosive plays, not really anything like that, then hey, Caden Salter could be your guy and he could, maybe he could succeed in the close game. But if the defense isn't going to play very well and allow a lot of yards every single game, what does that look like? That's the hard part, buddy. I know it's not a definitive answer that you're looking for where I just say, but I mean, if I'm being honest, Juju. If I want to win, Staub. If I just want to kind of see what happens and hope that it eventually turns out, then maybe Caden. But yeah, three things we found out last game. Sincere can ball. We knew that. We knew that before last game, just FYI. Price runs hard. Staub is not a typical third stringer. He's more capable college quarterback. He's been here 3 years. He's been here 3 years, guys. He knows the system. Shermer said in an interview during the spring that Staub knew the playbook through and through and was the quickest to respond in the quarterback room, and that showed on Saturday. Jelani Thomas, you are 100% right. The personnel and defense and offense been issues cause recruiting can't evaluate players that fit our defense and offensive schemes. I think we have players that can fit. I really do. See, I don't think that's the issue. Again, tell me who specifically do you not think fits besides Caden Salter? Because I don't think Caden Salter fits our offense. I don't think we should have gone dual threat. I think we should have gone pocket passer. I would have loved to see one of the other recruits that were out there transfer-wise. I really wanted to see Darian Mensah. We're seeing what he's doing at Duke. Castellanos, but he's a dual threat. So he was another guy that I talked about last year, heading into the offseason, thinking that he was going to transfer, and sure enough, he did. There's some other guys that maybe fit the bill a little bit more. I can see that on the quarterback side, but who else? What other positions? Tell me names of who you don't think fit. Because I think we do have guys that fit our schemes. Because I will tell you this, our offensive line, very good at pass blocking right now, guys. They are grading out very well at pass blocking. They're giving the quarterback time. Staub saw a lot of time. Salter saw a lot of time. Juju didn't have very many passes, and the couple he did get pressured. But my point still stands. Run blocking, though, they're not the greatest. I'm telling you guys right now, I've been watching the tape. They've been breaking down left and right. The fact that our running backs are averaging 130 yards in a game is more a testament to who our running backs are, guys. They are very good. They are very good. The blocking is not where it needs to be. If the blocking were where it needed to be, those guys would be running 200-300 yards. We'd have a 200-yard game on the ground if our line could just block a little bit better. We go with Staub. We stay with Staub. How about Staub? Don't make the trip since we so high on Staub. Any update down Hayden? It's going on week 3. No update. I have not seen anything on him. I mean, he was still in street clothes. I tried to pay attention in practice today, unless somebody else did something, in the video and showed him in pads. I didn't see anything yet. We'll have to see. So the next 2 days should tell us if Dallin Hayden is back. So here's the thing. I mean, I think Dallin Hayden could come in and fill the same spot that Simeon Price has. So when he comes back, and I think he could be a little bit more skilled than that. So we'll have to see. I want Dallin Hayden to come back and see what he can do. Did y'all see how frustrated the wide receivers were with Salter? They were raising their arms. Tez, I mean, they're open. There are guys that are open. I don't know if it's the reads. Again, to me, it seems like he's doing what he can with the knowledge that he has. So it would not surprise me if part of the reason that all this is happening is maybe Caden Salter does not know the playbook as well as a guy like Staub just yet. Maybe that's it. We can't be going to rebuild mode yet. Come on, Russ, stick it out. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that we have to do that. I'm just saying. I know what the future holds with Julian Lewis, and I know what this team can become. We're starting to become it in little places. And if we can continue to get more and more personnel that's better and continue to improve that, I think we can have some really high momentum recruiting classes and chances. Last thing, Russ, did you see what Asante Samuel said about? Yes, I did. I did see that. 8-4 is where I have it. Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that. That's why I said the schedule favors Colorado to still be good. Anybody saying we're less than 500 team is not looking at who we're playing, and something really bad happened in order to get to that point. Salter don't make the trip. If Staub starting, this definitely a rebuild year. Be for real. See, but that's my point. I don't think it is if Staub's starting. Then start Juju. I think you start Staub because he's been in this. He's a system quarterback and he knows how to do this, and he can give you the best chance to win right now. Our O-line had Delaware's D-line by 50 pounds and couldn't move him at all. That was disappointing. I think Staub will become better with reps. Congratulations to our special teams for being perfect for the second week in a row. Gennaro, you're not joking. Because let's just say that Damon Greaves is probably one of the best punters in the country right now, guys. From what I saw being in that stadium, Jesus. 60-plus yards on 2 kicks. A kick dropped on the 1-yard line, not to mention his other kick that was inside the 20 that he put some great backspin, had it bounce, and it came back. So you had that. One kick goes through the end zone, but goes out of bounds at the 20. Like, not a huge deal, but absolutely unbelievable play there. Buck Buchanan is a touchback machine. We're never going to have a kick returned against us, ever. We'll see how he does on the road, but at home, nobody's returning a kick against Colorado the rest of the season. I'm just calling it now. I blame Coach Corey and Coach Box. They pursue these players out of the portal with not when you fit the scheme. Again, names, North Side. Tell me the names of who you don't believe fit the scheme. They don't go after who we send them we want on Twitter anyway. We're not always right, though. Gualo, we're not always right. Defense is 100% sure vanilla. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen any stunts like last year so far. They're waiting until conference play, either Houston. The one thing I have seen a lot more motion, which is what we begged for in the offseason. But for some reason, I just am asking, what is going on? We're not really trying anything. What are we trying to do here? Until we fix our run defense, we have no chance to win anything. That Otis, Hughes, and Byard aren't playing a lot and dominating is a huge red flag. We seem to have missed big time on those. The whole defense is terrible. This was a bad transfer class. All G5 players. They weren't all G5 players. Jaheim Otis wasn't a G5 player. We could go down the list. I can pull up other, non-G5 players that we added. Just saying. Just because you get guys from the SEC or Big Ten don't mean that they're going to be successful, i.e. Jaheim Otis is having a struggling time right now and only played a couple snaps on Saturday. Ryan, I have a dream. Staub brings leadership, moxie, and loyalty. Love it, Gennaro. Salter drops back 7 yards out of the pocket, even when the O-line is holding. If well off an indicator, Bucky showed Staub playing with the first team in the video, Walter playing with the second team. So Dallin Hayden did practice today. Well, there you go. Then I bet he is back on Friday. We cannot categorize a quarterback as dual threat with an average of 3.3 and 2.8 rushing yards. The future is extremely bright for this team. We can see that on the horizon, but we do have some frustrating games between now and then. There you go, buddy. And buddy, I know that you can sometimes be pessimistic when it comes to this team. So hearing you say that, I would agree, and I think you understand what we're seeing. We'll be holding calls. Yes, we're going to open line here in about 2 minutes. I'll open the line. You guys can call in, and we'll get our fan take of the week, which, by the way, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do our ad read for the day. Guys, go get your Taco Bell Buff Box right now from participating Taco Bells. I had a bunch of people come up to me and say they've been buying their Taco Bell Buff Box. I absolutely love to see it. $7 gets you a cheesy gordita crunch, a burrito, a Doritos Loco Taco, and cinnamon twists, all for $7. And you get, of course, 1 of 4 collectible cups if you purchase the $7 box, which is a pretty cool deal. And then guess what, guys? Right here. Look what I'm wearing. We are wearing the Taco Bell Jordan Seaton t-shirt. This is the shirt that my fans have got in the mail. Okay. D-Nice got it the first week. Okay. We got shirts out to other people each week for our fan take of the week. So when I open the hotline, you call in. Whoever has the best take, you will get to reach out to me and get a chance to have one of these shirts mailed to you. Jordan Seaton. And I might have some inside information that some other t-shirts might be coming. In fact, I may have one in my possession now that I can't show you just yet. And there may be more on the way. So be on the lookout for that. Support local Taco Bell here in Colorado. Get your $7 buff box. And as always, not to throw this out there last minute because it is important, but Taco Bell is also donating $1,000 per touchdown to the General College Fund for Colorado. And guess what? We had a great Saturday. We scored a number of touchdowns, donated a lot of money. I believe at the game they even announced it was over $12,000 already. They added some extra money on top of it to the fund. So Taco Bell supporting CU athletics and CU education. So thank you, Taco Bell, for sponsoring the channel. And of course, for the Taco Bell Hotline. Bing, 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 bing. That's right. The Taco Bell Hotline is officially open. You guys can call in now, 970-805-0463. Give me your takes on Saturday's game against Delaware. Who do you want to be the quarterback? What is going on with CU? And we've got our first caller of the day. Let's make sure the audio is working, but be with you in just a moment. Here we go. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from? Good. How you doing, Michael, from Minneapolis? What do you have to say about CU football from this past weekend? Yep. Yeah, no, I've seen it, and yeah, the reaction from his teammates throughout the game while he was balling after the game, it's obvious that everybody loves Staub and what he's put in at this game. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think, but yeah, there definitely could be some other guys that he's talking about. Um, so I could totally see it. I absolutely could see it. Um, yeah, it's rough right now. I'm not sure, but I could definitely see why Staub should be the starter overall. Seeing that response, seeing how it's done, to me that makes sense. So you have Staub as the starter. What else do you think needs to change between now and Friday's game? Okay.
To be a better combination at linebacker, in my opinion.
Okay. French and Brown at linebacker. I mean, Jeremiah Brown had a fantastic game Saturday. Fantastic game. See. Test. Okay, I can see that audio is not working. What the heck is going on? Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Say yes. Yes or no. This is frustrating. StreamYard, I'm literally not changing settings, and it's heard the caller, now no audio. Okay, so you can hear me now. At any point did you hear the call? Okay, echo. Okay, now we're getting echo. I can see that. Okay. Now is there no echo? Echo's terrible. Let's turn off that setting. Isolation. Okay. Do we have echo still? Let me know. No, didn't hear the caller at any point. Okay. I do not know what's going on with that, and we still have an echo. What the heck is going on? I really, really hate what StreamYard is doing right now. Is there an echo now? I changed the setting. No echo. You can hear me. What I did was I turned off the setting to be able to hear the phone line, and now you guys can hear me with no echo. But it's so frustrating that is what's happening. I don't get that at all. Okay, let me one second. I remember what I did last time. I'm going to try one more thing. Okay? I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to change the audio back so we can get the phone call in and hopefully not get an echo. Testing. Can you hear me? Am I having an echo right now? Because I did change a setting. No echo still. No echo still. Okay. Now, let's see if we can get a call in. Okay. Let's see if we can get a call in. Okay. Somebody else, feel free to call in. We'll see if we can get the caller audio going. Hold on one sec. Let me test one thing. I can test one thing on my end, by the way, guys. Okay. You guys can't hear this. What is going on? Okay. I see what's going on. Hold on. Just me and some popping. So you hear the popping. You don't hear the phone sounds. Interesting. I mean, it worked just fine. Why does it keep doing this? Stop turning that on. Stop turning that on. You heard a phone ringing, Don Juan. Okay. Well, it sounds like it's working. So if anybody wants to call in, feel free to call in. Yeah, I hear the phone sound in the pop. Okay, so it's working then. That's the audio that I need to hear. So me resetting and turning off. We got a phone call, so we're going to go ahead and jump to that now. We'll go on, guys. Appreciate you. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ, who do I have the pleasure of talking with, and where are you calling from?
Appreciate you. Buffs News Weekly Live.
Hello. And they hung up. They hung up. I think that might have been Buddy. Buddy, if that was you, feel free to call back in. Appreciate you guys. Keith, thank you guys for hanging with me with this. I test it before every single stream, and it works. It shows that it has audio, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just stops. So I have to like re-add and add. We'll try it again. Okay. Nobody. Yeah. Hold on. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ, this is Brady calling from Boise.
Hey, Brady. Appreciate you calling in. Let me double check that everybody can hear you. Just double check, but feel free. Let me know, what were your thoughts on the game on Saturday?
Yeah, so first of all, happy Victory Monday. Been a Buffs fan too long to not enjoy Victory Monday when we get one. But it's definitely a weird game. I thought Delaware would be a figured out game where we kind of see where we were at going forward. Yep. But came out with more questions than answers. I far as the quarterback situation goes, I think I got a pretty, what seems to be an unpopular take as with the fan base, in that I think Salter should be the guy going forward, but I feel like strictly off vibes and kind of how the team's rallying around him, I think they'll go with Staub. But I think if this team is trying to compete I think this team could reach its highest potential if we're able to unlock Salter and he's able to take off and make good reads. And I feel like he has the highest upside that can lead us to compete and offset some of the shortcomings throwing the ball with his legs.
Yeah, I mean, out of all three, he's going to give us more options on the ground than any of the other quarterbacks. I'd agree with that. The question is, like, you know, I think there's just something there with his decision making. He's still kind of stuck in between. He throws when he probably should run. He runs when he probably should throw. He doesn't want to necessarily set his feet. So I get that. I get that. So you want to see Salter on Friday against Houston?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been very tentative so far. But I think just his presence with his legs on the field makes a difference. And I don't think it's like by accident that we ran for more yards against a better Georgia Tech front than we did against Delaware. And I think those first two series against Delaware, he did everything that was asked of him. I think if anyone's expecting him to be out there like Shador and be as pinpoint accurate and not as erratic, I just don't think that's realistic. But I think that comes with the territory of him. I think that's just the player he's always been. And I think those first two series, he finished the game 13 and 16 passing for 102 yards. I feel like there was a bunch of times where that looked like a Shador first half stat line, just strictly based off of checking the ball down and not taking a lot of shots downfield. He's definitely missing some guys, missing some reads. But I think that game would have been a great opportunity for him to settle in. And I don't really have any doubt that if we keep Salter in and keep some momentum going, he doesn't open up the offense a little bit more that game. And I bet we put up at least 31 points with him being in. That's just my opinion. Okay. But I think Staub was very solid, but I think that's just kind of the short-sighted and safe move going forward. But with the way he played against Delaware, he definitely earned the playing time. So I bet we see both of them, and I could see Staub getting the start. I just think there's more upside long-term with Salter.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love the take. Appreciate you. Yeah, make sure you guys call in some other time. I'm hoping we chat the rest of the season.
Yep, we'll do. Go Buffs.
Okay, let's go Buffs. Buffs News Weekly live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Well, this is Tez from Tampa, Florida.
Hey, Tez, how's it going?
It's going good, boss. It's going good.
Good, good. Well, Tez, what do you have to say about Saturday's performance and moving forward?
I would like to say that I don't believe Salter is our guy.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he's allegedly a dual threat. But the problem is that when he has open fields to run, he'll throw the ball. And he'll have a wide open guy and he'll overthrow the guy. When he snaps the ball, he drops back about 7 yards out of the pocket. If you watch him, when we were up 10-0, and he kept getting sacked over and over, and he couldn't move the ball, I said, we're about to lose this game. And you can feel the game slipping away. When it was 10-7, I think even Prime knew that the game was slipping away because Salter is indecisive. He's like a deer in headlights. And our receivers, after a while, I fear that they'll stop playing because those guys are wide open. If you go back and look at the games, those guys are wide open. They're throwing their arms up. They're pissed off. And they're saying to themselves, I'm wide open. This kid couldn't throw. He just doesn't know what's going on. And so the problem is he should have done what Georgia Tech's quarterback was doing. Salter had nothing but open field, and he wouldn't run. And I don't understand why he's such a great dual threat when he doesn't do that. And when he's scrambling, he'll have a guy wide open and he'll miss him. Go back to that Georgia Tech game.
Yeah.
That Georgia Tech game looked exactly like Salter did in his last what was it? I think Prime brought him back in, I want to say in the third quarter. But this kid would have somebody wide open and he'll just overthrow him. And he'll be right in front of the guy and he can't get it. He couldn't throw. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be hard on this kid, but there people are blaming Pat Shermer. But it's interesting to me that Staub is amazing with the exact same plays. And not only that, a great quarterback should know what they see on in the defense and call an audible to make the plays work. That's what made Shadur so great. And I'm not saying Staub is Shadur, but what I'm thinking is that for him to be able to read the defense and say, hey, look, if this happens, you're going to take the go route.
Yep.
That's what you want in your quarterback.
Yep.
You don't want the guy that's like a deer in headlights who has all of these seconds to throw the ball like Salter did, and he's standing there, and you're like, wait, why is this kid who's supposed to have these wheels like Michael Vick, why isn't he running the ball? Why can't he throw the ball? It's just bad. And so I think when Staub got in, the defense had to respect the over route. They had to respect it. That's why they couldn't stack the box. Whereas with Salter, they know that Salter can't throw. They know this. Even when he's scrambling, it's a guy wide open, he can't throw on the ball. I think we're going to lose our receivers. If we to look out for our recruiting class, we're going to lose them if you can't throw on the ball. I don't care how great those guys are. Salter can't throw them the ball. Sorry, being long-winded, but that's the truth, I believe.
No, Tez, I appreciate that. I definitely agree because to me, it just seems like he's so indecisive. I think that's what's going on right now. He's indecisive. He's not comfortable. Yes, he is making the receivers frustrated. Yes, I was at the game. So, I mean, even in the moment watching, we'd be looking down the field as fans and we would see guys open, waving their hands, and Salter was not throwing the ball to him. The few times he throws in the run, he throws where he expects them to be or wants them to be. They're not there. It's a mess out there. It just doesn't seem very coherent and like he knows what's going on. I can see glimpses of what Salter can do. He did it at Liberty, but for some reason here, either he's not comfortable with the playbook, either, the bright lights, I don't know what it is. I can't speak for the kid. I can't speak for what's going on, but there is something going on where he is just not things are just not clicking. And I would agree with you. I think you're right in all of that. Because we need to think about what works right now. And yeah, I think the receivers would be most comfortable with Staub because he knows the system. He knows where they're going to be. He knows where to look. He knows the reads. And he knows, like you said, the audibles when they're needed. That tells you a guy who has a full grasp on the system versus what we've seen so far. So, Tez, I fully agree. Hey, stick around in the chat. I might be picking you for your take of the week. I appreciate that. Want to give everybody a chance, but thank you so much for calling in and commenting and also watching the show.
No problem. Have a great day,
Okay.
boss.
You too, Tez. Appreciate it. I mean, maybe that's it too. Maybe they're not running the right routes either. Who knows? Buffs News Weekly live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ. This is Rob from Texas.
Hey, Rob. Appreciate you calling in. Rob, what do you have to say about the game from Saturday and moving forward?
Well, Ryan, I have a dream. Staub has all the ingredients of a miracle season.
Yeah?
Imagine a third stringer taking over and winning the Big 12 championship. That would be whew, that sounds like a movie to me. Now, everybody mentions the identity of the team. The identity used to be Shadur Sanders.
Yeah.
That was the identity because he would improvise all the time. However, Ryan, I have a dream. Staub is Shadur 2.0. Yes, I said it. It's Shadur 2.0. He even threw the Shadur in the game.
Yeah?
So I believe that's where should go. We should stop messing around trying to figure out who the QB is going to be. Now, let me tell you why I feel so strongly about that. It's because we have a dual threat quarterback, a dual threat quarterback who against Georgia Tech, he averaged 3.3 rushing yards. 3.3. Now, we can all say, well, it's Georgia Tech. They're a pretty good team. Now, who did we just play?
Delaware.
A nobody.
Yeah.
Now, against this team, I'm assuming there's going to be improvement. Well, I assume wrong. Now, he's not averaging 3.3. Now he's averaging 2.8 rushing yards per carry. That's ridiculous. There is no dual threat.
Yeah.
There is no dual threat. So the thing is, if he was brought in to run the ball, he doesn't do that. He misses passes when he's running. He can't run and throw. I mean, he just can't do that because he always misses his target. So what are we doing? And Houston, I mean, the game's on Friday.
Short week. So yeah, what's the answer?
One of the things that I love about I Have a Dream Stop is his loyalty. He could have easily gone somewhere else. He played phenomenally against Utah. Everybody saw the game. He could have easily gone to a different team and started, but he stuck with CU. And I know that Coach Prime, he loves people that are loyal to him. That's one thing about him. Mata, he's one of the dogs. Why? He came from Jackson State.
Prime does love loyalty.
So we'll find out how much he loves loyalty on Friday.
Yeah.
If I see I Have a Dream stop playing, he's being rewarded. He's being rewarded. Hopefully that happens. We'll see what happens. But thanks for allowing me to talk on the show.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching and thank you for the call. Up next, Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Fort Myers, Florida, the home of Deion Prime Deion Sanders.
That's right. Always love Fort Myers, Florida in the house. What do you have to talk about Saturday's game and the situation with the team right now?
Well, I'm on a platform like yourself. You have a panel, and I brought up the scenario probably about the first game of the season, how inaccurate Salters was, and I just throw it out like a little scenario. I say, listen, we know Ryan Staub is a gunslinger, right? And all the guys laughed at me on the panel. What are you doing, Stretch? Like, I know football, right? And when you know football, you can assess situations differently. And I just throw it out there. Just throw Staub in for throwing. If you need to get the passing game, we already done got our run coordinator, which is Marshall Falk. We got our passing coordinator, which is Brian Leftwich. With those great minds, as well as with the offensive coordinator and all the different NFL experience in there, they can figure out a system that will work. So I was just throwing out there, listen, try this. And lo and behold, against Delaware, Conference USA opponent, they tried it, and it worked. You've been watching Staub, you've been watching from afar and near, and waiting this opportunity to lick his chops and get an opportunity to get in and show what he can do. I've seen it when he first got in. Like, when you seen him throw the ball when Shadur went down hurt, he was getting rid of the ball like 1.56 seconds. Like, he didn't hold on. He was letting it go when it's supposed to go. And when you have a quarterback like that, your offense runs way smoothly. You can have a run attack because your guy is knowing where to throw the ball because he has dissected the defense, he has dissected the coverage, and he has got a lot of reps and like you just said earlier, and he's been loyal to the organization as well as to himself. See, a lot of us live in the here and now, what we want it right now. You know,
Yep.
the society has turned into a micro system where we don't like to be interrupted. We skip ads. We don't even watch TV no more. Everything's going over to digital where everything's on. You only get 30 seconds worth of commercials where you used to get 5 minutes worth of commercials. Like the system and the society has speeded up. But when you see a guy like him that's being loyal to the game and he's waiting his opportunity to get his moment, kudos to him. And other players should learn from him.
Well, and I think the players' response on Saturday, I think, is a testament to that as well. It was obvious that they were, I mean, being in the stadium, just so you know, the electricity going on with Staub doing what he did, not only in the fans, but then also seeing it on the field, seeing it on the sidelines. It was obvious that this team was behind Ryan Staub when he started going off. So that's hard. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Once you've unleashed it, you can't put it back in. Every sports team has had that moment where some guy who's been, waiting for that moment gets their chance and succeeds. You can't put it back in. So I definitely agree with you there. And I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what Prime decides to do for this Friday. I mean, the look of it at practice today is Staub might still be the guy, but we'll have to see what happens.
Well, there's nothing wrong with getting your freshman sensation rep. So that was kudos to Coach Prime. Like,
yes,
you're really evaluating right now your future, right?
Mhm.
As well as you need to take care right now. That's why you went out in the portal and got somebody that's a dual threat quarterback, because obviously Shadur, with negative yards and rushing through his whole career, wasn't a dual threat quarterback.
No.
Obviously, when you go out and get a Salters with positive yards as in a runner, he's a dual threat quarterback. Now we just have to get him settled down where he's not on go so much, where he can complete those passes that are open.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And one more thing I wanted you to know that I witnessed. Staub called audibles at the line.
Yeah.
Both
those big plays. That was him.
Right. That's from him being cerebral.
Yep.
You got to slow the game down, and you got to know when to take your opportunities and take your shots. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Georgia Tech game, they should have never lost. If they had Staub in with those 3 turnovers, it would have been 21 points. I believe in with my heart of my heart, because you got to remember, as a quarterback, you got to be able to command your team, slow everybody down, give arrangements, give plans, give predictions, give insight, as well as when you call the play. Hey, I'm coming to you this play. Hey, we're gonna see how you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These quarterbacks, when you have that command of your offense, and which I know he does from being up under Coach Prime and the tutelage of the different people that have been there in the last 3 years, it shows what kind of quarterback he is. And now going into this Friday game, you can still do the 3 quarterback system, because guess what? You can't prepare for it. You can't prepare for a 3 quarterback system. Somebody's going to take off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They each bring their own, benefits. And I would agree with you on the Georgia Tech comments. Like, even if we had just got 14 points instead of the 7 out of those 3 turnovers, I think we win that game. Because being down 14-0, Georgia Tech has to play a different style. They're not just running the ball all over us. They have to start throwing it. And we saw that with Delaware. Delaware's quarterback is absolutely terrible at throwing the ball, and he could not complete a pass to save his life. You put some of these teams that we're going to face that are more run heavy in the hands of the quarterback, and defense is going to have a lot more success, and we're going to see a lot higher scoring teams. So I agree with it. I really do. I do want to see Staub given the keys just to see what would happen. Throw Caden in there a couple times. Use him as the kind of off, the off speed pitch, so to speak, if we're talking baseball, of changing things up and see what happened when he get in. But the question is, can he do that? That's the big question, because
he can. Let me tell you something. Another thing to Staub. Staub is so invested. What did he do after he did what he did? He hit the Shadur. Now let's go back to your boy Salters. Listen, when you're an offensive guru, which I think Pat Shermer is, because he's been around for a long time, so he has so many nuggets in his tool belt that he can do this. You have to create a package like they did for Tebow. Tebow, when Chris Leak was there, they brought Tebow in for what?
Goal line packages. Yeah.
Goal line package. You know what I'm saying?
2-point
Right?
conversion.
Could you stop it?
No, you couldn't. Just like we couldn't stop Georgia Tech. I mean, they ran the Tebow package constantly that game.
So Saucers is the same dual threat.
Yep.
You have to take your mind out of your own philosophy and create a philosophy that works for the players that you got.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I just want to call in, man, because I've been watching you from afar. I like what you're doing. I'm happy. Skull Buffs, you know what I mean? And let's get this one for Peggy this year, because we cannot have this much eye support, so much viewership, and we don't come through with, even a Big 12 or a bowl game. We need to do this because this lady's been sitting in the stands for 100-some years. We got to get her what she needs. So if Coach Prime is listening to us and listening to the fans, because the fans support the game. Without the fans, the game would be dead. You see what happened with COVID.
Yeah. No, I know. We need to see it. I mean, it's re-energized Boulder. And now we've got to see some payoff to it a little bit. And yes, at minimum, I need that. I need a bowl victory this year, no matter who it's against, no matter which bowl it's against. But if we make it Big 12 championship, we're talking playoffs for some reason, even better. But yes, I mean, the more and more I watch Staub, the more and more I watch with everything going on. And what you said is absolutely right. I think he might be the guy that can definitely take us to a much more consistent offense that we need on this team. So, hey, I appreciate the call. Appreciate you listening and being a part of the show. Thank you so much. Hopefully call back again, one of our other shows coming up, and let me know what you think.
So how do you do your shows? Do you do it daily, or you just hit and miss every now and then?
No. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. So Mondays and Fridays are the afternoon, this time roughly, and then Wednesday night is the late night show that I do with David Talks Buffs, and it's late night for, I guess it would be for you on the East Coast. But it's those 3 times a week.
Dark Side Dave together. I love Dark Side Dave.
Yeah, I love Dave too. We love having fun. So Wednesday nights we do the Buff Blitz podcast, which is So just keep touch. But every Monday at this time, you'll see this call-in show. We have the opportunity for everybody to talk about what happened over the weekend. So hope to hear from you in the future.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in more often, man. Keep doing a great job, man. Allow the fans to speak up, man, because it's going to take a whole turn if you continue to do this, man. I promise you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call. Okay, guys. We'll keep going through, guys. Your comments, I see it. Okay. No damn guru, those poorly designed bubble screens. It shouldn't be gone this fast. He has open field. He had taken his opportunities. We wouldn't be here celebrating. Quarterback has to command the offense and have the guts to change the play and or route at the line. OC can't have his feelings hurt. There's Sir Guy in the chat. And buddy, we need a bowl win this year. That's it. 6-6 plus a bowl win. That's what Buddy wants to see minimum. 6-6 bowl win. Okay, Northside. I've been waiting for this one because I was waiting for somebody to say something. I don't want to bring it up because it's dumb. That's not what he's saying. Jordan's post has to do with his performance, guys. I don't know if you realized it. I've been talking about it on Twitter. The offensive line is not doing a good job in the run game. Okay, they're not where they want to be. The team is not. He's not talking about location like I don't want to be in Boulder. I made a mistake in Colorado, which everybody started throwing out there. He's talking about I'm not where I want to be as a player. Okay, I will show you guys. Okay, PFF grades. I'm telling you. And watching the tape, it was bad at times. The offensive line is not doing a good job on the run blocking, which is crazy because we're averaging 130 yards a game when before we would average 60. What that tells me is we've got good running backs, guys. We need better blocking when it comes to the run block. The pass block is great. We're grading out well. Okay. Jordan's struggling a little bit in the run passing game or the run blocking game. The interior is super struggling in the run game. I'm telling you guys, you go watch the tape. You go look at the analytics, the grades. It is not looking good when we run the ball. But despite of that, we are still running the ball more successfully than we have the last 3 years. Okay? Than we have the last 3 years. It's just a completely different thing. I don't know if they're not picking it up correctly. I don't know if they're just getting pushed back and they prefer, because you got to understand, buddy, in blocking, run blocking is about pushing forward. Pass blocking is about moving with the guys backwards and creating that pocket. There's two different skills associated with it. You talk to any O-line person, there's two different skills associated with run blocking versus pass blocking. Most of the time, offensive linemen love pass blocking more because it's just about digging in and pushing against the guy in front of you. It's about strength on strength. Technique on there is not as important as strength. Pass blocking is all about technique because you got to be able to move properly, keep your feet with you so that you don't get too upright, you don't get too far forward, anything like that, and staying with the guy, okay? That's why when you see, by the way, the one-on-ones in practice, they're practicing pass technique, not run technique when it comes to blocking. Because it's the one you have to work on the most. But for whatever reason, we do not look good in the run blocking technique. Okay? We are not looking good at that. I saw a play that we ran the 2 running back set, gave it off to Taco Taylor, who ran up to the left. We had both Xavier Hill and Zy Chrysler pull. Zarian McGill couldn't hold his block. Seaton couldn't hold his block. Both Xavier Hill and Zy Chrysler go into the hole, and they just keep running. They have nobody to block. Nobody to block. And then Taco Taylor gets stopped at the line of scrimmage because both Zarian McGill's and Seaton's guys break into the middle and collapse the hole on Taco Taylor. And we stopped for, I think it was a 2-yard game. We still got 2 yards out of it. But that was a play that I saw early on in the game that I was like, yeah, this is, and I see it constantly. Something's not right with that. Okay. Whether it's chemistry, whether it's, the ability to understand what they need to do, they needed to get more inside push on that to open the hole outward. Or Xavier Hill and Zy Chrysler pulling, they didn't need to run through the hole and run past the guys. They could have helped sealed off the hole, and then Taco Taylor can hit the hole wide open and just take off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a scheme issue. I don't know if it's a chemistry issue. I don't know if it's the guys not understanding their assignments. I don't know if it's just straight strength beating strength. I don't know what it is in the run game. But that is something that not a lot of people are talking about, and trust me, it's there. That is what Jordan Seaton was talking about when he made that comment on Twitter. I'm telling you guys. He's not talking about wanting to leave Colorado. Let's go to our next caller. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to, and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Russ? It's Colin from Texas again.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm not going to beat this subject to death because we've already talked about it for too long, but the whole quarterback situation.
Yes.
I think it's pretty clear now that Shermer's not being replaced or leaving. And so what's the solution, right? Obviously, Salter isn't clicking. And then we have Ryan coming in, obviously, who's used to this coordinator's play calls. And then watching Shadeur do it for 2 years, I think he's got an idea of how best to respond to that. I mean, that's pretty simple, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back to your one of your points, starting out with the transfer portal, getting started, and how everyone's kind of struggling at the beginning of the year. One team in the Big 12 I want to point out is Texas Tech. I know they spent like $34 million, but I think they're the guys. If by any chance somehow on God's green earth we end up going to the Big 12 championship, which I see very unlikely with all these flipping screens, and our screen guru, somebody commented, which I agree with. I lost track. Point is, Texas Tech's pretty flipping solid right now, and they've been able to do it with quite a lot of transfers coming in.
Yeah. And I agree. Some teams are going to be like that with the transfers because, again, you said it. They paid a ton of money. They got the best of the best at the transfer portal. They got the absolute best they could from every position. Everybody else is still going to fill the rosters with transfer portals, and you're going to see teams struggle early on in the season. We're seeing it more now than ever. But I would agree, yes, Texas Tech is the example. And, I mean, if we're being honest, you go back and you look at every team that's competing for a national championship, they are bringing in plenty of transfers. They're not fully just doing, it only based on development. I mean, obviously they're getting 5-star recruits. So yes, they're developing those guys as well, but it is a good mix. So I do understand that. And yes, Texas Tech would be a team that we would absolutely love to mirror when it comes to that success. I want to see what happens, as the season goes and see, but yeah, Texas Tech is one of the teams to beat and they're keeping it up. But then you look at other teams, in the Big 12, and there are teams struggling that shouldn't be struggling, at least not from what everybody said. ASU shouldn't be struggling. Kansas State is in a very bad position right now, struggling heavily. Utah, on the other hand, not struggling. Texas Tech, not struggling. Those are going to be the teams to beat. But yeah, it's so remind me, who do you think should be the starting quarterback on Friday?
Well, Ryan Staub, of course, because
Okay.
I mean he just meshes with flipping Pat Shermer's offense, and I get it. Like it's pretty simple. Obviously, the screens aren't working, or guys are getting hit in the backfield, and then the guy who's supposed to block ends up catching the ball. That shouldn't be happening. But I mean, we have what 75? Did we end up with 55 or 75 guys in the transfer portal this year? I can't remember.
I think it was less. I don't think it was that much, but I mean, we're always going to end up with, a big chunk. If we're only recruiting, 20 guys or so, 15, 20 guys, that's.
Well, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We have one receiver that stayed, and Jordan Seaton, and that's our returning offense.
Well, I mean, so we got
that can't happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got Draylon, you got Omarion Miller, you got those two wide receivers, and they're making a point to be a part of it. Running back Michael Welsh, he returned. Staub also returned, obviously, and now is performing like we've said. Seaton on the line. Here's the thing: the line is a bit different because the rest of the line was absolute trash. I mean, the guys that were on that line were trash. They needed to go. And, I haven't been paying attention to how Khalil Benson's doing. Justin Myers obviously graduated. Our center situation, I would have loved to keep Cash. I don't know what would have been a better situation. Now he's dealing with injuries. It's all hindsight.
Yeah, I know it's hindsight, but even going back to Cash, I went to the BYU game last year. I was as tall as he was. I was expecting him to be like 6'4", 6'6", like all these other massive linemen in the SEC and big dudes. If I put on 150 pounds, we'd be pretty much clones. And I love Cash, don't get me wrong. He's awesome. I hope he does really well at Tech. But yeah, dude, I was a little shocked by his size. And then, flipping Colton Hood, right? That's his name, right? Who won SEC Defensive Player of the Week last week.
That one's a different one. I still think it's a different one because he says he leaves because his brother isn't going to have a spot in this team, and yet he goes to a team where his brother's not playing. So I don't know if it was a disrespecting. I don't know what it was. The team wanted Colton Hood. So to anybody that thinks, and not saying you did, but because I've seen other people online being like, how does Coach Prime and them let him go? It's like he made the decision to go. Like they wanted to keep him there. Yeah.
That's pretty much all I got this week, man.
Okay.
I enjoy the show.
No. I appreciate you. I appreciate the call as always. Thank you, and hopefully we'll hear from you again, and hopefully we'll be victorious next Monday as well. So until then, we'll talk to you later. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, guys, there's a lot to it. There is. There is. I mean, that's true too. Tech hasn't played anyone really. You got Kansas State losing to Army, guys. Almost losing to North Dakota. Kansas State is not the powerhouse people thought. Imagine us being Kansas State right now where everything rested on Avery Johnson and he is horribly failing. That would be like in 2 to 3 years, Juju not panning out at all. Okay? I mean, Kansas State is screwed dead in the water. Iowa State, heck, Rocco Beck struggled this week. I mean, teams were not playing other big teams and they were struggling heavily. Things are not as bad as we want to make it out to be after Saturday's game. The fact that we got a win, the fact that we covered and did what we needed to do in that game, the fact that, hey, maybe Staub has emerged as the quarterback that could potentially take us to where we need to go and be able to run this offense most effectively. There is room for improvement. There is room for Colorado to be the team we want it to be. The question is, can we consistently become that? Can we consistently become that moving forward? And how quickly can we get to that consistency? If coach don't pay up, he's not going to get the players he really wants, and he can't win with subpar transfers. We'll have to see what happens. Salter was supposed to be the man. He's looking like trash, can't throw. Salter can have small package, just have to change the pace of the game. I understand that too. Salter is damaged mental. You have to go with Staub at this point. I didn't love what I saw from Salter after coming in, and maybe that's the issue. Maybe originally he was doing fine, 10-0. He was, slowly making his way down the field. It didn't look pretty, but it was successful. We got to remember, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, 10 points. And that's where we were at before we made the switch. I was a little shocked that we made the switch after the 2 successful drives, but from hearing from everybody involved, from hearing before the game that Juju was going to get a chance, I thought, kind of makes sense. But, that's interesting. I can explain what Seton means by a statement. Look at it like this. If the O-line do both run and pass block, running backs can successfully make the quarterback's job easier to do his job. And yes, it does simplify the game. Exactly. If we run the ball better, it's easier on Salter. He becomes a successful guy. Right now, the O-line, and again, Seton is the man, guys. Okay, he is a mature guy at this point. He knows he's going to be a first-round draft pick. I guarantee it. Okay? He's calling himself out. It needs to be better. It needs to be better with this team. He knows it. It is not perfect. He's not just going to take the accolades and move on and be like, yep, I've made it, guys. No, he is going to want to always strive to be better. And that is exactly what his comments are. Catch this late. We'll be catching the replay. Russ, we trust. Appreciate D-Nice, as always. Is Dylan back for K-State? I do not believe so. I think he's still out injured. But the question is, does Dylan make a difference enough for them to beat North Dakota by more? For them to beat Army? I don't know if he is that big of a difference maker. It'd be different if Avery Johnson was injured and they're like on their 3rd string quarterback who's doing nothing. I mean, this is their starting quarterback. He does not look as advertised. Everybody said that his passing would come along and he'd finally, find his rhythm and be the person he's supposed to be. 3 weeks in a row, he's struggled at times. 3 weeks in a row for them. We're okay. People's expectations were just sky high. New Harper, totally agree. Echo crashed, being pulled out of that game. Change the playbook to fit him. The playbook hasn't changed. Staub succeeded because he knew the plays. Maybe that's what we just need to do. At this point, you can't change the playbook, just FYI, guys. We really can't. K-Salt's not trash. He's just trying hard to appease Pat in his scheme. Where the Buffaloes roam, the defense not good at all. Still plagued by poor tackling, giving up too many yards. I said this earlier. I think this is who the defense is. They're going to give up yards. I've been a Broncos fan, and for a while there, we had a defense that was a bend but do not break defense. It was we gave up a ton of yards, but when we got in the red zone, we stopped them for a field goal or no touchdown at all. We were creating turnovers in the red zone or down at the other end of the field. Opportune turnovers. This is sometimes what you have to live for. The fact is that when you look at the scoreboard and what the defense allows, it's actually pretty good comparatively. And it's technically better than last year. We'll have to see if that changes once we start playing some other teams. But I'm just saying, if they can just continue allowing least amount of points, I could care less about yards. Hey, allow 600 yards a game, but if they're allowing less than 20 points a game, I like our chances in those situations. I think most teams take a defense that only allows 20 points or less a game. Just saying. If that's the case, the defense is not Big 12 chip material, nor CFP defense will get trashed. I mean, I'm not saying we're winning the CFP. If we can get to the Big 12 championship, then great. Maybe they do just enough. The vibe with Salt just does not work on the offense. Everyone looks awkward. Utah, BYU, ASU, NDSU, get not the best players. They have good developing coaches. And they're going after different types of players, just FYI, North Side. Utah and BYU are not good examples. ASU, they've been getting some pretty good players. I don't know Northside. Jordan Kyson's a pretty darn good player, and he transferred there. I mean, we knew he was a good player when he left Colorado. He transferred there. BYU's got a pipeline already kind of made just because of the school it is. Just saying. And Utah, kind of the same thing, too. Salton needs to be himself, not try to show everybody he's a quarterback in the defense if everybody remembers didn't catch on until like the fourth game. Okay, next phone call. Let's go. Buffs News Weekly live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Russ, hey, how's it going? This is Nguyen. I am calling from Boulder.
Oh, we're getting a. You're the first Boulder caller we've had. Look at that.
Nice. Yeah, so I think Bryce Staub deserves to be the starter. I don't even understand why there's a question. Through 2 games, Salter struggled. I mean, like, literally, the offense doesn't look fluid. I mean, he's overthrown 4 to 5 wide receivers. Like, he doesn't. I mean, for me, for you to continue being the starter, you have to learn from your mistakes, and he hasn't learned. You look at what Staub did. He was the third string, probably didn't play with the first team. You look at his first 2 passes. Yes, one could have been intercepted, the other was knocked down. But he was coming off the bench cold with 47 seconds left. In the first half, and then he throws an NFL level layered throw. To get them going, and then he gets them in zone, and then he throws 2 more elite throws in his 10 passes on Saturday. Now, for me, I think like everything was equal, between the 3 of them. They all had really good wide receivers, a good O-line, and Staub performed the best. You cannot deny this man that he deserves to start. He looked like he had control of the offense. I think Pat Shurmur really isn't that great of an OC, and he was making adjustments on the fly, but that's the type of quarterback you need in that position. A quarterback that's capable of altering, out of play. So, yeah, I just really think, Stop the guy for CU. I think if he was playing against Georgia Tech, they win the game. Like, if you look at the mistakes Salter made in comparison to Stop, I don't think they lose. So that's just my opinion. I think the team wins 10 wins with him starting.
I love the take. And I don't think we've talked about enough that drive at the end of the half. Like, that was surgical. He was calm, collected. That is one of the toughest situations to be put in, which is why when I was in the stadium, along with every other fan out there, I'm sure we were all shocked to see Staub being put in that situation. And what does he do? He goes out, he makes a couple mistakes, fixes it. Yes, that throw was absolutely unbelievable that he made to set them up. And then he takes what the defense gives him, does a check down throw when the running back was wide open, which, by the way, watching back the tape, even with Salter playing at times during that game, he had those check down throws wide open just like that. And he forced some balls that he probably shouldn't have. So to me, I think the best analogy is it's that kid who studied for the test. Everybody else didn't really study. They're not really prepared. They're just getting by, and here's the guy that has worked his whole time to get this perfect, gets his opportunity and comes out and shows that he knows what he's doing. So I would agree with that. I really do. So you've got Staub going in Friday. Anything else you have to add?
I just want to add this one last thing. If you look at his talent level, his arm is a plus arm. He's actually elite enough where he can get by. He's not an extreme athlete, but he's a good athlete, and he's accurate throwing the ball. Like, that's a really good college level quarterback. And honestly, he was fearless in his throws on Saturday. Like, I mean, he was throwing at every level of the field. I mean, I just don't understand how you cannot think that this kid should be number 1. And given the dynamic we have about 10 wide receivers that could start on college teams. And it's just crazy that Deion has built up, Prime has built up this much talent at the wide receiving core. Like, if you place him in there, I'm telling you, the offense is just going to surge because I think we have good running backs. I think we have a good O-line. I actually think we have a better team than last year. Minus Shador and Travis. I just really like the makeup of the team with him as a starter.
No, I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate the call. Make sure you call back again, later on in the season. Let us know how things are going. We appreciate the call from Boulder. Have a great rest of your night, brother.
Yeah, you do the same thing.
Okay. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
This is Willie. I'm on the road to Florida right now. I was just calling and listening in. I was listening to the last gentleman that was talking about Bob to the starter.
Yep.
And he played very well. He played very well. And I wasn't surprised after what he did with Utah a couple years back. However, my issue with the situation with Salter's case was I feel like ever since he's been at Colorado, it's been a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure that Deion's put on him with those two backup quarterbacks that he never put on his own son. I've been following Deion since Jackson State. And not one time did Shador have the type of pressure that's been put on Case Salt. Case Salt is a proven quarterback at Liberty. And I believe once he calms down and feels comfortable and feel like this is his job and takes over it, I feel like the sky's the limit for him in the Big 12 play. However, I just feel like it's been a very uncomfortable situation for him since he's at Colorado. And I just don't feel like he feels confident.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I do. I mean, the tough part about that is, though, you have to earn it. Yeah, you definitely do. And I do. I get it. Shador was the starter. He was the bona fide starter. There was never a conversation about it. But you also see what he's doing now in Cleveland. I mean, he's being the right teammate in Cleveland. He's not making a big deal about it. It's the media making the big deal about it. He's just going about it, even though he's not given a fair shake there. And so he's able to handle that. That's a huge part about the position. You got to be able to handle not only the pressure from within the building, but outside the building. And if the problem is that Salter's just having confidence issues, that's not a good thing anyway, because there's only so much you can do to create that confidence.
Well, my thing is, like I said, the situation is this is his senior year. This is an opportunity, whether he's going to even get an opportunity to move on to the next level. I mean, leaving Liberty, it was no question. But right now, it's a lot of questions. And, when you sign that commit, you don't know necessarily the 100% success you're coming into until you get there. And once you're there, you're there. This is it. You can't say, oh, I'm going to sit out and transfer next year. He's already done that because he had a year at Tennessee. This is it. It's no do-overs. So you're here. So I've been a college athlete. I played junior college. I played Division II football. I played arena football. So I understand how it is to be able to have that pressure of this is it. This is my opportunity. This is my chance. And all that going through a young man. I'm 38 years old. These guys are 22, 23 years old. That's a lot of pressure, man. And I just think Deion, and I'm not saying he hasn't had that conversation with the young man.
Yeah.
But I think I could see it's a lot of stress. I watched that game on Saturday. It's a lot of stress in his face. I could see it in his eyes. And I think regardless of whatever the situation is moving forward, Deion needs to take him under his arm and have a real man-to-man conversation with him and calm the kid down, because I think that's the biggest problem. That he's not. I think he has a lot of stuff going on in his head right now.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that part. I mean, I assume it's happening behind the scenes. We got to assume that Prime is having these conversations, that they knew going into this game exactly what was going to play out, how it was going to happen. He's being open with him. You hope. Again, we can only assume, one or the other. But that's definitely probably the first thing he's doing is having a conversation with Salter if he's, a smart coach. So definitely agree with that. Appreciate you. That's a great call, and it's a good point. Like I said, I would agree the fact that Salter does look uncomfortable, and whether that's from the pressure, whether that's from whatever's going on, something's just off. He just doesn't seem like himself when he's out there. And so if the team could try and get that back, I think that benefits the team the most. Because yes, can Salter potentially lead us and be a big time player for us? And if he can be that 2023 Salter from Liberty, do we have a chance to win a Big 12 championship? Absolutely. With Staub, do I think we have a chance to, 8, 9 wins? Yes, I do. The question is, which one do you want? Which one do you want to strive for? And which one are you going to push for? So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the call.
All right. Thank you for taking the call.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Dallas, Texas. My name is William.
Okay, William, Dallas, Texas. Appreciate you calling in. What do you have to say about the team right now on Saturday and what's going on?
Well, let me just say this. I was thoroughly impressed with what Star did when he got it, but there's a reason why. We watched the well-off videos and saw him throwing some interceptions and stuff like that. I think they gave him a fair shake just because he's been loyal, and he's a gym rat. You know what I'm saying? He's the type that's gonna come and do the right thing, just like Fennessy and the running back we had that's going to be a dentist. But the thing is, there's a reason why he was in the third position. So they put him out there, and because he's a gym rat, he can he can see the whole field and everything. But the second, I think it was the first or second play, he was almost an interception. We deleted that. We act like we didn't see that, but he almost threw an interception. Now the difference between, because K-Saw was playing good all the way up to the point where he took him out. So I think we still would have won the game with K-Saw. Now K-Saw has his issues too, but I think we go into this game with Houston, put K-Saw out there because here's the thing: if Ryan Saab gets in there, we're all gonna be rooting for him. But if he throws interception or something, they're gonna take him out. Now you're gonna try to put K-Saw back in there. I say ride out with K-Saw. If he shows he's not ever gonna turn the corner, then you might have to make a decision. But you can't take a few plays and say, okay, we're just gonna switch off when K-Saw didn't actually lose the job. He didn't.
True.
He put up 10 points. Like we rushed because we're prisoners of the moment. I'm rooting for whoever they put out there, but I think this was sort of like I think you might have mentioned this before. I think this is sort of like a preseason game because we had so many people in there, 4 or 5 linebackers. We played receivers. We played all kind of people. You know what I mean? But I was impressed with Saul, but I think we need to make sure that K-Salt is not our guy before we move forward, because you can't go back to him after you put Staub in there to start. That's just my humble opinion. But I think we go with K-Salt and give him the confidence he needs. Hey, listen, we played 50 people last week.
Yeah.
So this just wasn't about the quarterbacks. So let's get you back in here. You see, let's continue to develop him. He has his flaws, you know what I'm saying? But Staub does too. If we've been watching well off for the last 2 or 3 years, he was throwing interceptions all through practice. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because that's when you make your mistakes. But let's give K-Salt let's lift him up and let's give him some confidence and let's go. Because if you take him out now, it'll be hard to put him back in there.
I would agree with that.
He's gonna be shot. You know what I mean? It's coming. Oh, he took me out. He's gonna be calling his mom. They took me out. I don't really want to be here no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a great teammate, but I'm just saying that's the possibility. I stop if we could see the future and he would go on to be perfect. This would be a great move. But I just don't know about this now because I can't dismiss what I've seen in practice. And I know they only show us clips or whatever. We don't see the whole practice. But this guy has been loyal, and Prime is always given over to people who's been loyal. And so he put Staub in there. He deserves a chance. But we got to be careful now because, the second play of the game, he almost threw that pick. The guy dropped the ball. And then what would have happened? You know what I mean? But,
True.
Got to take the good with the bad. But let's give K-Salt some grace. Let's see what we can do with him. And if not, we know we got somebody behind him. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I would say I think yes. If you start Staub on Friday, you're not ever going back to K-Salt unless there's an injury. And I still consider the next 2 games almost like a quote unquote preseason, even though Houston is a conference game and going to be important. But these I think are the last 2 weeks that we can kind of experiment with that. And by experiment, I mean, let's see what K-Salt has. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can finally take that hump. And, if he struggles against, Houston, struggles against Wyoming, you make the switch at that point, I think, and see what happens.
I agree 5,000%. At that point, it's okay. We gave you the longitude and the latitude to do what you need to do. We came back. That's why I tried to put it back in later in the game. But you could tell this he's like, well, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But he put him in there to let him know, listen, we still right with you. But I'm like you. Take the next couple of games. If not, then let's solve the thing. You know, but let's. I mean, the man he checked down, which was impressive. I don't even know if Kate saw it has the longitude latitude to check it to another. I don't know that. But at the same time, it was impressive to see him do it. He went over to the guy. Oh, that alone was impressive. But I still know there's a reason why he was number 3. You know what I mean? And that might be probably, I don't know why, but and I can't dismiss what I saw. So let's rock with Case off and see what happens these next 2 preseason games, and then we'll make the decision. You know what I mean?
I'd agree. I could very well see a similar thing that we saw this weekend against Houston.
Yeah, but Case really they scored 10 points. He has some overthrown balls. He don't take off sometimes, but it'll click. It'll click. But the worst thing you could do is put Staub in there. If you make a mistake now, everybody gonna be like, "Oh man, now you're gonna try to take Case off and put him back in there."
It's true.
That's gonna be touchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Love it. Appreciate the call, my man.
I need one of them t-shirts too, Russ. I need t-shirts.
I'll have to ask the chat. I think it's between you and Tez. What's going on? You said your name was William, right?
Yeah.
Okay, William, I'll keep you down here. We'll see what we can do about that shirt. I'll let the chat kind of decide between you guys here in just a moment. So stay tuned. Keep on the video today, and I'll let you know here in a little bit. Okay.
Okay, man. Hey, enjoy your day, brother.
Oh, you too. Love it. Appreciate you. Let's go Buffs. Guys, I'm loving this. I'm glad the audio's working. I'm glad we didn't have issues. We're going to be wrapping up the call here in a second. Hey, guys, let me know in the chat. Who should get the fan call of the week? Is it Tez or is it William? Okay, let me know who it should be right now in the chat. Who you think should be the fan take of the week? I'm going between Tez and William. 2 amazing callers today. I appreciate you guys. We can have a call off to settle it, buddy. I don't know what else they have to say. They said their piece. I mean, I want to see who needs it. Who needs it? See, Salter play his whole career. I've never seen him play this bad. I don't think the spotlight is the reason. He literally might be still sick. Cam very well could be it. 5th-year senior's database. Desperate for him to keep the chance. Isis got it. One more call. Let's go. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, guy, I'm calling from North Carolina.
Okay, North Carolina in the house. Let me know, what are your thoughts on the team right now?
Well, based on my observation, I think that Salter, he came to Colorado because he wanted to go to the league. And he knows in order to go to the league, you got to make and be able to make quite a few throws. Yes, he's a dual quarterback, but he doesn't want his running ability to impede him getting drafted or even an undrafted free agent. So Pat Sherman is aware of this. So he's trying to let Fowler know that if you want to go to the next level, you're going to have to throw the ball and make these throws. And at times you're going to have to be a pocket quarterback, and at times you're going to run. But Salter is trying to get to the league. So that's why he's hesitant to run in the last 2 games like he should, because he wants to show the scouts that he is capable of throwing from the pocket, making reads, and at the same time making all the throws. That's what I see. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I mean, that very well could be it too. They're trying to change who he is as a player because let's be honest, while 2023 Salter was impressive and insane and probably should have been up for the Heisman, okay? Not saying win it, but should have been in the conversation more about it. The question is that a NFL quarterback? No, it is not. We see those college quarterbacks all the time. We see guys like that. They don't go to the next level, okay? It's true. And I get that too. And that might be why he could lose his spot right there. Stevie Russ, my question is, shouldn't Staub have started off as QB1? How did he get passed by Caden and Juju? Juju clearly not ready. Caden can't run the Shermer old man offense. That's a good point too, CB. It's a good point. Maybe we should be asking why Staub. But then again, throughout the offseason, a lot of people, word around the team was there was a three-headed quarterback battle. We only focused on Juju and Salter because of the profile, and we thought we knew who Staub was, but we don't see practice. The only thing we saw from practice was not great from Staub. Let's be honest. We did not see good stuff from Staub in the practice footage, and Coach Prime plays based on practice. So maybe that's it. But if you're a gamer and you're coming in and doing what you need, my other question would be maybe Staub struggled in practice because he was just trying too much. While the other guys maybe were trying to play a little bit too, I guess you would say, non-risky about it. I don't know. That's an interesting one. Okay, so for fan take of the week, I'm going to go ahead and call it. We got enough votes there. We're going to go with Tez. Tez, reach out to me, buffsnewsweekly@gmail.com. It's in the YouTube profile if you don't know, in the About Me section on YouTube. Hey, shoot me an email with your contact info. Let me know who you are, where you're from, your address, all of that stuff. I will reach out to you, confirm with you, and we'll get you all taken care of for the fan take of the week. Appreciate you for doing that, and appreciate all the people at Taco Bell for allowing me to do the fan take of the week. So appreciate you guys. Hopefully that's awesome. Appreciate you, Tez. Let's get the last couple comments in here. It's the plays when he rolls out to his right. He's refusing to run if there's 30 yards in front of him instead of throwing the ball and missing. I would like to see him set his feet some of that time too, because he doesn't need to make that throw on the run. There's not people chasing him. There's not guys coming at him. He could set his feet, make the throw. Just would love to see that a couple times. That's what Shedeur did. That's what Shedeur was good at. It looks like he's trying to be Shedeur, but he's still trying to do it on the run, trying a little bit too much. It'll be interesting to see. I think that K-Salt will still get the start this week, guys, if I'm being honest. I really, really do. I really, really do. Jamel, you're back in. Appreciate you dropping by today. Thank you so much. Used to play calling for pocket passers like Shedeur, Orion Stop, or Juju. That's why I do like the future with Juju. I think he plays in nicely to what they're trying to do. He is a more of a Shedeur. We said it all off season. K-Salt is different. Can we run a different offense that plays into K-Salt's style? Right now, it does not look like we're doing a great job of it. Okay, right now, it does not look like we're doing a great job of it. Y'all crazy if y'all think Coach Sanders is giving up on Salter. Yep, I don't think so. Set his feet, made accurate throws. Might be done. We're going NFL now. The NFL takes. If Salt starts, I'm turning off the game. I can't stomach to watch it. Juju made passes. Salt couldn't. Tez, I'd give it another game. Like I said, I think these first 4 games are a preseason. I think it's okay to try and figure out what's going on, to be absolutely sure heading into Big 12 play and say, this is our guy. This is our guy. I don't know if we're ready to do it just yet off of the small sample size we have from Staub this season. That's my only thing, but I get it. I think you know what you have in Staub now. The question is, can K-Salt figure things out and be better? Be better, okay? He doesn't look comfortable not playing his style, thinking too much instead of just playing football. And that's my point. Can he figure that out? Buddy's saying Staub is as well. Might as well be ready to turn it off then. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys for coming in today. Hey, if you can, real quick, please hit the like and subscribe button. It supports the channel greatly. Please do it right now. The likes are huge. Whenever these videos pop off with the likes, it pops off on the view. It's a huge boom to the channel. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you come back next week. Tez is getting one of these shirts right here. We've got other shirts that'll be out there coming soon that you guys will get to see right here on this channel that we will be giving away throughout the entire season. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're here when we stream. And hey, just for kicks and giggles. Watch the other videos when I post them, like I did earlier today when I posted just my generic comments about the game. I'm also going to be doing a Ryan Staub video. I've been asked about it. I did a K-Salt video. I did a Juju video last week. Well, guess what? This week, because it's the week of the Staub, you're getting a Ryan Staub video. Let's find out more about Ryan Staub. So be subscribed to the channel so you know when that video drops. I appreciate all of you guys, all the wonderful fans, all the Buffs fans in the chat. Hey, until Wednesday night, make sure you're there with David Talks Buffs. It's always a great time. You guys know it's a lot of fun. If you missed that show, make sure you're there. Talk to you guys later. And as always, from your host, Russ, Sco Buffs.